Hey, welcome back to Cooking with Matt. Today we're going to make some non-fat dressings. My wife often has salad with just a little bit of lemon juice and olive oil and some salt and pepper, but I'm going to make some dressings today that are going to be both sweet and tangy. To do a non-fat dressing, you can't use any oils because that would add fat, so I'm going to do them mostly with something that sweetens them. So I'm going to do a cilantro lime dressing sweetened with agave nectar. Now you could use something else if you'd like, just some plain sugar and water. I'm going to make a basil and lemon dressing with some red wine vinegar and some baker's sugar. And these should just take a few minutes. They also double as a great marinade. Both are really, really good on fish. We might even show you that on a seared ahi later on. But they also are good on chicken and some other things. You can even just baste the meat with it. So it's going to be really good. I've got some cilantro chopped up. Pretty fine, as you can see. This stuff always smells so good when you're cooking with it. And I'm just going to kind of see, these are equal parts here. This is the agave nectar, about a quarter cup. I didn't measure it. And when you're making these dressings, again, the thing about making your own dressings is you can make it the way you like it. So there really is no right or wrong. If you want it sweeter, make more agave. If you want it more tangy, add more of the vinegar. I'm using a rice vinegar for this one. And what I'm going to do is just kind of first start by taking the agave nectar and pouring it into my thing here. Again, this is about a quarter cup. And here's a trick. See how that agave nectar stays in there? I'm going to pour the vinegar into there. And that's going to kind of help me get what was left inside of there. That vinegar is going to cut right through it. You know, that's why you use vinegar on cleaning your glass, is it kind of is a cleaner. So it's going to just take that right out of there. Okay, so now I've got my agave nectar and my rice vinegar in there. I'm going to take about the same amount, probably not measuring, but probably about the same amount, about a quarter cup. Cilantro, because I like cilantro. Stir that in there. And we have to get the lime. Now I've already washed these limes off. Now the couple things that are important. I'm going to use the juice of at least 1 or 2 limes. We'll see how the first one tastes. And it depends. Why does it depend? Because sometimes limes are juicier than others. So you don't really know for sure how juicy a lime's going to be until you start playing with it. So remember, right now we've got a quarter cup of each, the rice vinegar and the agave nectar. And I'm going to put a tablespoon or so, just squeeze this right in here. I'm going to zest the outside of these limes, so again, it's important that you wash them off. There's citric cleaners or cleaners that you can get at your grocery store, usually in the produce department, but you should always give your vegetables a good rinse. And right now I've got about, as you can tell, about a good tablespoon of lime juice on the first half, and I'm going to use the other side as well, hoping to get about 2 tablespoons of lime juice out of it. This one's fighting me. And we're almost there. All right, now, lime juice in and of itself is going to be very tangy, okay? But we want the lime flavor, so to get that, we're going to have to do something else. We're going to have to zest it. Now, you can use a fancy zester if you like. I've got this one right here. This works as it doubles as a cheese grater. And I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to put my thumb right inside that. You'll notice when I cut that, I did not cut the lime this way from end to end. I cut it across side to side. That's important because I'm going to use my thumb inside there and just grate across it. Now you don't want to go too far into the white. You just want to take the outer layer and kind of go around. And as you're doing this, you're going to smell that lime flavor again. You're going to just smell it. But this, along with the sweetness, is going to balance out the acid of the vinegar and the citric acid of the lime itself. So give you that nice lime flavor. Again, this is going to be sweet and tangy, and yes, you're having to consume sugar calories as opposed to fat calories, but those can burn off pretty easy. So there's the first half. You can see how I went around that. Didn't go too far. If I kept going, it would go really too far, and you can see I've got some of that lime zest in here. I'm going to want all that. Let's do the other side of it as well. Same kind of idea. Just using my thumb and rotating around. You can see I'm getting some on this side too. If you were here, you would smell that lime and cilantro, and it would probably be making you hungry. Let me go around and see I've got all that nice lime zest in there. Now the other nice thing about this is it's going to last a long time. Once you put it in your refrigerator, let's get that all stirred up. Now we've got to put a few more things in there. Smells good. Okay, last few ingredients. This is granulated onion. And I'm going to use just about, make sure I can read that. That's a teaspoon right there. Actually, yeah, half a teaspoon. Granulated onion, and then just a dash of salt and pepper to taste. And I'm telling you, that fast, we are done. Now you can do some other things. If you want this hotter, you could do anything. You can add some Tabasco, some of your favorite other hot sauces. You could add some red pepper. You could even add cumin to this, although I don't recommend cumin in this particular application. This is going to be kind of Southwestern as it is. Let's just see what we come up with. It's really nice, very fresh tasting. The cilantro comes out nice, the lime flavors. Just a light and healthy dressing. Now you can take this and transfer it if you have a shaker or something else. Like I said, this can sit in your refrigerator for a long time. It'll just get better over time. Before you use it, just do it, shake it up a little bit. And we're good to go. Okay. All right, we're back to the basil and lemon dressing. Basil and lemon are the way that the Italians make their food, where you find lime and cilantro more for the Southwestern type foods. And we're going to, again, have a quarter cup of, this time it's a red wine vinegar. Put that in my container. This is about the same amount, a quarter cup of the baker's sugar. Now, my nephew said he had a hard time finding that. So, of course, you won't find it in your cupboard like I do, but I usually keep some of this around. It's a big old milk carton of it. So if you're looking for baker's sugar, it looks like that. And it's important to know the differences because it's a lot finer. You can see how much more fine that is granulated than a regular sugar. So that's what's kind of cool about baker's sugar. That's why it's good for seasonings and for applications like this. It will tend to dissolve much more rapidly than a regular granulated sugar, although you can use granulated sugar if you like. And the first thing I'm going to do is just, again, get that sugar and vinegar in there. Those are pretty good right now. And I'm going to, again, squeeze up about an equal part of juice. Here's your lemon. Try to make sure we don't get the seeds in it. That's one. Let's cut another one. And remember what I told you about cutting the lemon and lime in different ways? Again, these have been cleaned on already. And we'll do that like this, carefully, not wanting to get too much of that. So about 2 tablespoons of lemon. Got a little basil in my hand, or cilantro in my hand there. Stir those in there. Let's get some lemon zest. Same way as we did the lime. It's a little harder to tell the color because the inside of the lemon is already light. The lime lets you see how you're zesting a lot more readily. But you can see how that's getting lighter. The lemon rind tends to be a little softer than some limes, so be careful. You can go down to the white bitter part pretty quickly if you're not careful. And again, when you start zesting, you're going to see what I'm talking about and smell it. You'll be able to actually really see it. Now look how much more zest we got out of that. It's because, like I said, the lemon is so much softer in its skin. So we've got all that lemon zest. And that's a lot of flavor. If we didn't add sugar to this, it's going to be really bitter. So you have to be careful about that. So let's kind of smell it. Yep. I'm smelling my lemon, my vinegar, a little bit of sugar. And let's just chop up some fresh basil and throw some of that in there. Now, if you're doing basil different ways, you can, if you're trying to put it as a garnish, you would actually roll the leaves up and kind of be more careful. I'm just going to chop this fine because I want the flavor to kind of go through the whole thing and have every bite have a little bit of green to it. Throw a stem away when you don't want it. I could have chopped this ahead of time, but at least you get to see this all in real time. And see how fast and easy it is. You can double the recipe, like I said, if you want to keep it around and use it for something else aside from salads. Just keep it on hand and bring it out when you need it for whatever you need it. I love cutting up fresh cilantro and basil. It just makes the whole house smell good. And again, we've got about, I'd say, a little less than a quarter cup of that in dry. Stir that in. Smells good. Okay, again, same kind of a thing. I've got a teaspoon here of granulated onion. And I'm going to do the same thing this time with granulated garlic. Now I prefer regular garlic or whole clove garlic diced up. You can do that. It takes a little more time for that flavor to come out, but it also seems like in the salad dressing that the granulated garlic spreads a little more evenly through the whole dressing. So it's up to you. Let's do a little salt and pepper to taste. You'll notice I always keep a spoon around just to make sure. I've got the one I used before in the sink. Let's see how this turned out. As you can tell, my sugar's all gone. It's all emulsified or dissolved into there. You can see my basil and see how that's going to look on top of a salad when you just start putting it on top. It's going to be nice. Wow, that's got a nice flavor to it too. The big difference between these two is this has that little garlic hint. The other one was just onion and cilantro and lime. So what do we got, about 10-15 minutes, and we've already made two non-fat salad dressings. So thanks for watching Cooking with Matt.